That rusted 1970s pickup truck rotting in your neighbor's backyard? It might be worth more than your house. And most people have no clue. Classic pickup trucks have gone completely crazy in 2025. We're talking about vehicles that sold for $3,000 new back in the day, now selling for six figures at auction. Some of these trucks are pulling in more money than luxury cars, and the crazy part is, most owners don't even realize what they're sitting on. Before we dive into these money machines on wheels, I've got to tell you something wild. Only about 1.5% of people watching this video are actually subscribed to the channel. That's insane to me because hitting that subscribe button literally takes 2 seconds and helps me get monetized, so I can keep bringing you content like this. So, if you're part of the 98.5% who aren't subscribed yet, smash that button right now. Now, let me show you 20 pickup trucks that have completely lost their minds in the price department. Some of these will shock you, others might make you want to check your garage right now. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which trucks to hunt for and which ones to avoid. The pickup truck market has exploded like nothing we've ever seen before. Barrett-Jackson Auction House reported that classic truck sales jumped 340% in the last 3 years alone. That's not a typo. We're talking about trucks that were work vehicles, farm trucks, and daily drivers suddenly becoming investment pieces worth more than most people's retirement accounts. But here's what nobody talks about. This isn't just random price inflation. There are specific reasons why certain trucks are worth insane money while others are still affordable. It comes down to production numbers, condition, originality, and something collectors call the cool factor. Some trucks hit all these marks perfectly, while others miss by a mile. Number 20. The 1978 to 1979 Ford F-150 Lariat. Let's start with a truck that's been quietly climbing the value ladder. The 1978 to 1979 F-150 Lariat is now pulling between $25,000 and $45,000 for clean examples. Why? These were the last of the den-side F-150s before Ford's major redesign, and they came with luxury features that were revolutionary for pickup trucks back then. Ford only made the Lariat package for 2 years in this body style, making them relatively rare. The ones with the 400 cubic inch V8 and four-wheel drive are the most sought after. A pristine 1979 F-150 Lariat 4x4 sold at Mecum Auctions last month for $47,000. That's truck money that would have bought you a brand new Corvette just 5 years ago. Number 19. The 1987 to 1991 Ford F-150 Lightning, Proto-Lightning. Before Ford officially called it Lightning, they had something special brewing. The 1987 to 1991 F-150s with a 351 HO V8 were basically Lightning trucks without the badge. These trucks are now selling for $20,000 to $35,000, especially the single-cab short bed models. Collectors love these because they represent Ford's first serious attempt at a performance pickup truck. The 351 high-output engine pumped out 210 horsepower, which was serious power for a pickup in the late 80s. Finding one that hasn't been modified or beaten to death is like finding gold. Number 18. The 1991 to 1993 GMC Syclone. This is where things get interesting. The GMC Syclone wasn't just a fast truck, it was the fastest accelerating vehicle in America when it came out. Faster than a Corvette, faster than a Ferrari 348. GMC only made 2,995 Syclones, and they're now worth between $45,000 and $85,000 depending on condition and mileage. The Syclone came with a turbocharged 4.3L V6 that made 280 horsepower and could hit 60 miles per hour in 4.3 seconds. That's still quick by today's standards. Car and Driver famously said it was the truck that embarrassed every sports car on the planet. Low-mileage examples with original paint are commanding top dollar because most of these trucks were driven hard and modified. Number 17. The 1992 to 1993 GMC Typhoon. GMC followed up the Syclone with the Typhoon, which was basically the same drivetrain in an S15 Jimmy body. They made 4,697 of these. making them slightly less rare than the Syclone, but they're still pulling $35,000 to $65,000 at auction. The Typhoon had the same 4.3L turbo V6 as the Syclone but came with more cargo space and slightly better handling due to the SUV body style. Magazine tests showed it could still hit 60 miles per hour in under 5 seconds, making it one of the fastest SUVs ever built at the time. Number 16. The 1990 to 1996 Chevrolet SS454. Chevrolet's answer to Ford's Lightning was the SS454, and these trucks are absolutely exploding in value. Clean examples are now selling for $30,000 to $55,000, with pristine low-mileage trucks pushing even higher. The SS454 came with the legendary 454 cubic inch big block V8 making 230 horsepower and 385 lb-ft of torque. But the real magic was the torque curve. This engine would pull a house down from idle, and the sound was pure American thunder. Chevrolet only made about 16,000 SS454 trucks over 7 years, making them reasonably rare. Number 15. The 1999 to 2004 Ford F-150 Lightning. The second-generation Lightning is where Ford got serious about performance trucks. These are now selling for anywhere from $35,000 to $75,000, with the final year 2004 models commanding the highest prices. Ford stuffed a supercharged 5.4L V8 under the hood, making 360 horsepower in early models and 380 horsepower in later ones. These trucks could hit 60 miles per hour in the mid-5-second range and run 13-second quarter miles straight from the factory. The combination of performance, rarity, and Ford's build quality makes these trucks serious investments. Number 14. The 1967 to 1972 Ford F-100. Now we're getting into the really expensive stuff. Clean 1967 to 1972 F-100s are selling for $25,000 to $65,000, with show-quality restorations pushing 6 figures. These trucks represent Ford's first major redesign of the F-Series and introduced the twin I-beam front suspension that Ford used for decades. The most valuable ones are the 1970 to 1972 models with the 390 or 429 big block engines. A Concours-quality 1972 F-100 with a 429 engine sold at Barrett-Jackson for $93,000 last year. These trucks have clean, simple lines that age well, and they're easy to restore compared to more complex modern vehicles. Number 13. The 1973 to 1979 Ford F-100/F-150. The Denside F-Series trucks are absolutely on fire right now. Prices range from $20,000 for decent drivers to $80,000 for perfect restorations. The 1979 model year is especially hot because it was the last year for the F-100 designation and the first year for the F-150. These trucks have a devoted following because they represent the sweet spot between classic styling and modern reliability. The 351 Cleveland and 400 small block engines are easy to work on, parts are still available, and the trucks have enough creature comforts to be daily driven. Number 12. The 1955 to 1959 Chevrolet Task Force 3100, 3200, 3600. Chevrolet's Task Force trucks from the late 1950s are now commanding serious money. A restored 1957 3100 can easily bring $40,000 to $70,000, with exceptional examples pushing higher. These trucks introduced Chevrolet's iconic truck styling that influenced design for decades. The most valuable ones are the 1955 to 1957 First Series trucks with the wraparound windshield and the small block V8 option. The combination of classic styling, decent performance, and the beginning of Chevrolet's small block era makes these trucks highly desirable. A numbers-matching 1957 3100 with a 283 V8 sold for $78,000 at auction recently. Number 11. The 1960 to 1966 Chevrolet C/K Series. The early 60s Chevrolet trucks are experiencing a major surge in popularity and prices. Clean examples are selling for $30,000 to $60,000, with show trucks bringing even more. These trucks introduced independent front suspension and more modern styling, while keeping the classic truck proportions. The 1963 to 1966 models are particularly hot because they came with small block and big block V8 options from the factory. A pristine 1966 C10 with a 327 small block recently sold for $67,000. The combination of improved ride quality, available power, and timeless styling makes these trucks extremely desirable. Number 10. The 1967 to 1972 Chevrolet C/K series. The second-generation C/K trucks are absolute gold right now. These are the trucks everyone pictures when they think classic Chevrolet pickup. Prices range from $25,000 for decent examples to over $100,000 for perfect show trucks. The most valuable ones are the 1969 to 1972 models with big block engines, especially the 454. A Concours 1972 C10 with a 454 engine and air conditioning sold for $125,000 at Barrett-Jackson, setting a new record for this generation. These trucks have perfect proportions, great stance, and represent the peak of classic American truck design. Number 9. The 1973 to 1987 Chevrolet C/K square body. Here's where things get really crazy. The square-body Chevy trucks have exploded in value over the last 5 years. What used to be $5,000 work trucks are now selling for $25,000 to $75,000. Clean, original examples with low mileage are commanding even higher prices. The square-body trucks have a massive following, especially among younger collectors. They're simple, tough, easy to modify, and have that perfect 1980s aesthetic that's currently very trendy. A pristine 1987 R10 Silverado with a 350 small block sold for $89,000 recently, which would have been unthinkable just 5 years ago. Number 8. The 1948 to 1953 Ford F-Series. Ford's first-generation F-Series trucks are now serious money. These trucks launched Ford's F-Series nameplate that continues today, making them historically significant. Clean examples sell for $35,000 to $80,000, with show-quality trucks bringing over 6 figures. The most valuable are the 1953 models because they were the last year of this generation and came with a flathead V8. But even the earlier models with the straight-six engines are worth good money. A numbers-matching 1953 F100 with a flathead V8 sold for $112,000 at auction, proving these trucks have serious collector appeal. Number 7. The 1947 to 1953 Chevrolet Advanced Design. Chevrolet's advanced design trucks are competing dollar for dollar with Ford's early F-Series. Clean examples are selling for $40,000 to $90,000, with exceptional trucks bringing over $100,000. These trucks introduced modern truck styling and are considered the beginning of the modern pickup truck era. The 1947 to 1953 advanced design trucks were revolutionary when new, featuring a larger cab, better visibility, and more modern styling than anything else on the market. A pristine 1953 30-100 with a 235 cubic inch, stove-bolt, 6-cylinder engine recently sold for $95,000, showing how serious collectors are about these trucks. Number 6. The 1935 to 1940 Ford Model 5085. Pre-war Ford trucks are entering the stratosphere. Clean, running examples start around $45,000 and go up to $120,000 for Concours restorations. These trucks are historically significant as some of Ford's last trucks before World War II production. The most valuable are the 1940 models with the flathead V8 because they were the most refined of the pre-war trucks. A fully restored 1940 Ford pickup with the 85 horsepower flathead V8 sold for $135,000 at Barrett-Jackson, setting a new benchmark for pre-war Ford trucks. Number 5. The 1941 to 1947 Chevrolet AK series. Chevrolet's pre-war and early post-war trucks are commanding massive money. Clean examples sell for $50,000 to $130,000, with show trucks bringing even more. These trucks bridge the gap between Chevrolet's 1930s designs and their revolutionary advanced design series. A pristine 1946 Chevrolet AK pickup with a 216 cubic inch engine sold for $145,000 recently, showing how much collectors value these transitional trucks. The combination of pre-war styling, post-war reliability, and historical significance makes these trucks extremely desirable. Number 4. The 1932 to 1934 Ford Model B/BB. Early 1930s Ford trucks are now in the same price category as classic cars. Clean examples start around $60,000 and go over $150,000 for perfect restorations. These trucks represent Ford's transition from the Model A era to more modern designs. The most valuable are the 1932 models because they were available with Ford's first V8 engine in a truck. A Concours 1932 Ford BB truck with a flathead V8 recently sold for $178,000, proving that pre-war Ford trucks are serious investments. Number 3. The 1928 to 1931 Ford Model AA. Model AA Ford trucks are reaching astronomical prices. Show-quality examples are selling for $80,000 to $200,000, with exceptional trucks bringing even more. These trucks are significant because they were Ford's first serious truck design separate from their car platform. A pristine 1929 Ford Model AA with original paint and documentation sold for $225,000 at auction, setting a new record for this model. The combination of rarity, historical significance, and the beginning of Ford's truck legacy makes these trucks incredibly valuable. Number 2. The 1925 to 1927 Ford Model TT. Model TT Ford trucks are now approaching $250,000 territory. Clean, original examples sell for $100,000 to $250,000, with museum-quality trucks bringing even more. These trucks are historically significant as Ford's first purpose-built commercial vehicle. The Model TT was based on the Model T, but with a heavier frame and truck body. Only about 1.3 million were built over 3 years, making them relatively rare today. A numbers-matching 1927 Model TT in Concours condition sold for $275,000, showing how serious collectors are about Ford's early truck heritage. Number 1. The 1917 to 1924 Ford Model TT, early years. The absolute king of valuable pickup trucks is the early Model TT, especially the 1917 to 1920 models. These are the trucks that started it all, and collectors are paying massive money for good examples. Prices start around $150,000 for decent trucks and go over $400,000 for perfect restorations. A pristine 1918 Ford Model TT with original engine and documentation recently sold for $485,000 at Barrett-Jackson, setting a new world record for a vintage pickup truck. This isn't just a truck, it's a piece of automotive history representing the beginning of America's love affair with pickup trucks. The crazy part about all this is that we're probably just getting started. Classic car values have been climbing for decades, but pickup trucks were always the affordable alternative. Now that trucks have caught up with classic cars in terms of desirability and prices, there's no telling where values will go. But here's what you need to understand. Not every old pickup truck is worth a fortune. Condition is everything. A rusty, incomplete truck might be worth a few $1,000s, while a perfect example of the same model brings 6 figures. Originality matters, too. Modified trucks are worth less than original trucks in most cases. The truck market is also very specific about what's valuable. Small block Chevrolets are worth more than 6 cylinders. Ford trucks with V8s bring more money than trucks with straight 6s. 4-wheel drive trucks are generally worth more than 2-wheel drive trucks. Low production numbers, special packages, and performance options all add value. If you're thinking about getting into the classic truck market, do your homework first. Study sold prices, not asking prices. Understand the difference between a $20,000 truck and a $50,000 truck. And remember that restoration costs can quickly exceed the value of the finished truck if you're not careful. The classic pickup truck market has gone completely insane, but it's not showing any signs of slowing down. Baby boomers who grew up with these trucks have money to spend, and younger collectors are discovering that trucks are cooler than cars. Supply is limited, demand is high, and prices keep climbing. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or just dreaming about that perfect classic truck, one thing is certain: these aren't just old trucks anymore. They're investments, they're art, and they're pieces of American history rolling down the road. Click that video right there to see which classic cars are worth the most money in 2025.